Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It's not turning out to be a Friday that the market was looking forward to. There is very heavy, serious selling pressure coming in from those who don't want to probably wait for further confirmation that the markets are weakening. 25,000 has gone, and the Nifty now at 24,964. So, the weekly close, if it happens below 25,000, will be a very negative indicator for the rest of the month. Remember, we have seen a high of 25,600 in earlier part of this month, and now there is sustained selling pressure for two reasons. Not a single quarterly result in for the April-June quarter, which is Q1, has been worthwhile that might activate bulls on the Lal Street. And secondly, there is constant deferment of the planned US-India trade deal. In fact, if you go through media reports, whatever news that is emanating from this pending agreement is not really very positive for the Indian economy, and therefore, after 4 successive months of very strong gains in the market, you see this massive round of profit booking happening on the Nifty, now down about 150 points. And if you look at the broader chart of the Nifty, we were somewhere like 25,670 on 30th of June, and in the last 3 weeks or so, we've slipped fairly sharply, given up 670 points and then a little bit more. So, 670 points would be 3.5% on the Nifty. Let's just calculate that as well and then proceed forward. The top loser today is yes, it's 735 points, and that comes to roughly, one second, it roughly comes to, yes, 3 percentage point fall on the Nifty from its most recent top, and now a day's low. So, that is a bit worrisome. I will request the PCI to kindly fire the chart of Axis Bank. This is a stock that has slipped dramatically. The top loser on the Nifty now down 4.5%. You see a price of 1105. A longer term chart for the private sector banking index will show you that Axis Bank is now below 200-day moving average, and the price that you see is the lowest since April 11th. So, it is almost a 3.5 month low on Axis Bank, and this is also the top traded counter, not only on the Nifty, but also on the NSE. So far 3,382 crores worth of Axis Bank has been traded, and on the NSE 500, yes, this is again the weak link as far as the Nifty is concerned, as well as the bank Nifty is concerned. In fact, two other banks, SBI down about 0.7%, 1,000 crores traded here, and HDFC Bank down about 1.1%, are also weakening as far as markets are concerned. What also needs to be done is, of course, look at the bank Nifty, now down 520 points. This is 56,313. Remember, Nifty Bank was more or less quiet in the past 10 days or so in a sideways to consolidating band, but today the index has given up its 21-day EMA, which is a negative development. This is quoting below its June 25th lows, and you see a very sharp sell off coming into Axis Bank. Let us look at the other draggers on the Nifty. So, you have Axis Bank pulling the Nifty down by 40 points, HDFC Bank pulling the Nifty down by 28 points. Look at Bharti Airtel, again profit booking happening here. This was a stock which kissed record highs fairly often. You have the stock slipping 1.5% at 1900. and then of course you have Kotak and Hindustan Unilever. So these are the top 5 losers, collectively pulling the Nifty down by about 6, 7, 8, roughly 90 points. Modest gainers on the Nifty today. ICICI Bank providing some support, just mildly in the green, 0.5% higher if not less. Info, ONGCs, Wipro, IndusInd Bank. Remember, all of the previous 4 or 5 sessions, the Nifty fell because of the Nifty IT index. Very, very weak set of numbers coming in from TCS, from Infosys, from Tech Mahindra, and we've seen the CNX IT index slipping from a high of about 39,200 all the way down to 37,200. So that's also a 2,000 point cut that the index has seen in the last 5-7 trading sessions. What also is not working in the favor of the market, ladies and gentlemen, is selling pressure that's coming into stocks such as the entire defense setup. Look at the sharp sell off on Bharat Dynamics and Garden Reach, as also Hindustan Aeronautics. These were counters where traders had made supernormal money in the last 3-4 months. Garden Reach seems to have fallen 30% from its most recent peak. It's trading at somewhere in the vicinity of 2630. And yes, that's the today's chart, but we've seen, if you put in a 1 month chart, you will see the Garden Reach falling about 30-35%. We've seen 3300 on the index, so on Garden Reach. Look at Hindustan Aeronautics. The most recent high on this one was somewhere in the vicinity of 5100 rupees, now slipping somewhere in the vicinity of 4660. You have Cochin Shipyard now firmly below 1900. The stock was at 2300 fairly recently, so that's got quite a steep fall. The only stock that seems to be holding forth is BEL, somewhere like 396. We've seen a high of about 440, so that is also weakening. In fact, the entire setup of defense stocks, I track about 20 of them, they are in the red. Mazgaon Dock 1.7% lower. So that's how it is, ladies and gentlemen. The broader markets, you have just the metals index which is in the green, that's also 0.2% higher. News coming in that the government is looking at offering incentives worth 1500 crore rupees for the mining of rare earth metals. I'll request the PCI to kindly fire the chart of GMDC. Very heavy volume and a very strong breakout that's come into the counter after this news. 14% higher, 430 is what you see. So in this darkening market, there is metal that's shining brightly. NMDC 72 rupees, 71 rupees 20, 2.4% higher. In fact, the Nifty Metals Index, you have gainers like Midhani, you have gainers like manganese ore. Both these stocks are doing pretty well as far as volumes and price action is concerned. NMDC up 2.4%. You have Steel Authority a percent higher. Vedant and Hindalco also inching up. So it's the sector that's buzzing against fairly heavy selling pressure on the Nifty. Quite unlike previous instances where selling was fairly concentrated, but today is an exceptional day. A close below 25,000 on the Nifty on a weekly basis will be construed negatively, because that would mean that the index will be falling for the third week in succession, and that's quite a negative thing to happen. Remember, on June 23rd, the weekly close of the index was 2.1% higher, and we've seen that low almost being touched today. So let's see how the remaining 1.5 hours passes. That low is 24,845. And given the circumstances that you have in the market, where there is really no news that is enthusing bulls to take long trades, you have almost weakness creeping into the market from all sides. Let me just mark if there are any new all-time highs. Okay, there is Anand Rathi Wealth at 1.7% higher, 2631. None of the names that give you that kind of a good feeling in the market. Of course, their own individual strength notwithstanding. HDFC AMC 5580, fresh record high, 1.2% higher. Cement stock JK 6542. You have from the healthcare space, Fortis Hospitals almost 800 for you. 813 was the intraday high, which is also a fresh peak, and Krishna Institute of Medical Sciences 3.5% higher, 768. Are there only some 52-week lows? No, none. Are there any strong volume buzzers? Saregama, okay, 5% higher, 513. This is a very well-known music label which all of us enjoy. 58 lakh shares have been traded, 32 times the 5-day average. So this is a strong breakout that has come in. Let's examine the Saregama long-term chart. Let's see what the stock is actually at in terms of positioning. Okay. So this is a sell-off that started at 602 in 4th of June. And today there is some respite on the stock, accompanied by very heavy volumes. So this is something that you can look at, and I'll request the PCI to again fire the chart of GMDC. A fresh move coming in. 2 crore 38 lakh shares have been traded, and that's 27 times the 5-day average. We still have an hour 15 minutes to go. So that's how it is, ladies and gentlemen, as far as markets are concerned. Nothing much to report for, except for the metal counters shining forth, but weakness in most indices. Look at the Nifty Mid Cap Select 100 index. This is down 400 points today, and this is also slipping about yes, it's a 400 point fall. I was talking about the Nifty Mid Cap Index. Let's see if we can show that. So selling is yes, 362 points, and this is the 3rd day of losses. And we can also look at the small cap index. There shouldn't be no surprise here. Small cap 100 index is also down 0.7%. So there is no really volume picking up in the market which might enthuse bulls on the long side. So people are happier selling off, and remember, they made a very sharp amount of money on the Nifty alone. Plus you have the overhang of the Jane Street SEBI issue. So all of these things put together, a harming sentiment on the Lal Street on the long side, and none of the Q1 earnings have helped. With that slightly morose and weak note, we'll call it a day as far as this part of the coverage is concerned, and let's hope that the Nifty reclaims 25,000 for at least the weekly close. But for the moment, 24,972, 140 points lower. The low on the index is, let me just mark that low, because that will be critical. Yes, the low is 24,920, which also, ladies and gentlemen, happens to be, one second, the 50-day exponential moving average. So 21 got lost 2 days ago, and now the index has taken some support at the 50-day moving average. It is trading at its lowest since 23rd of June. So exactly a 1-month low. On that very somber note, let's hope for a better Monday, and before that, a better close for Friday. Thank you for watching.
Hello and welcome to India Today. This is Anita Brito in conversation with the one and only Salman Khan. Hi Salman, how are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Very, very good. And I loved what you did on the stage.